Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Kaba Ilco number 15995 AA-04. This is a Kaba Ilco composite style or generic style key and knob, key and lever, key and deadbolt cylinder. The 15995 means it's a key and knob, lever, deadbolt cylinder. It means that it's drilled for a 6-pin key blank, but it comes pinned and with a 5-pin key. You can make a 6-pin go in here. You just have to add the spring and the driver pin, etc. When you're keying it. Or you could just order, if you need 6-pin, the 15996. Now the AA in the part number, that's going to stand for the typical Arrow keyway, even with a manufacturer's original look-alike key blanks. That's what an Arrow original looks like. Fun fact, you can pass a quickset cylinder into the lock that we have, and this client has a Schlage deadbolt that they needed to have a quickset key pass into. Well, there are no quickset keyways from Kaba Ilco, but this is, while the head of this key is a non-quickset head of a key, it happens to be a generic key. That is absolutely a quickset 1176 keyway. That's not that you may or may not know that, but that's what a quickset keyway is. Quickset will go into Arrow. However, an Arrow won't go into a quickset cylinder. The key is too large. But that quickset will go in. So the client's got a Schlage deadbolt, wants to make a quickset key go into it, so we can use a Kaba Ilco composite cylinder or generic cylinder that takes an Arrow key, and everyone's happy. And that's exactly what we're going to do for this client. After we make this video, we're going to key this cylinder to the client's original key, and he will be in good shape. And we already know that this cylinder will work in the series of Schlage deadbolt that he has. It won't work in every Schlage deadbolt, but the one he has, it will. Now, you're going to get the two original key blanks made of solid brass. The housing and the plug, solid brass, very high quality material, very excellent operation, smooth operation, works splendidly. Considering the fact that it's half of the cost of OEM type cylinders, I would never dream actually of ordering anything other than Kaba Ilco if I had my way about that, if I could decide to use Kaba Ilco cylinders. Now you're going to get 6 tail pieces with this, and I'm arranging them on my desktop. You're going to get 3 for levers or knobs. They're all the same, except that their lengths are different because different manufacturers were going to require a different length of each of these. Okay, I'll give you the length of each, but before I do so, you'll notice that you've got 2 preparations there for the screw, or I should say the spring-loaded pin in the back of the threaded cap on the back side. That's because if you've got a lever, you're going to want that tail piece vertical most likely, and if you've got a knob, you'll most likely want it horizontal. Lengths of all 3 of these, we're going to give you overall lengths, just overall. The shortest one is about 3/4, and that's marked RS. The one that's marked RM, so I'm going to go with short, medium, RM, medium. That one's going to be at about 15/16. The one that's marked RL, maybe for long, I don't know that that's what it means, but about 1 1/8 inches. Then you're going to get 3 tail pieces for deadbolts. Again, all the same concept, they're just different lengths. These deadbolt tail pieces feature a lazy style preparation on the back of the feature, which will permit you to, if you're installing this in a deadbolt, you want to be able to put the key in, turn the latch bolt, but then bring the key back to vertical and remove it without unlatching the deadbolt every time. If you had a fixed profile on the bottom of your tailpiece, it will turn every time the key is turned. The key becomes a handle. You don't want that. You want that to be able to spin independently a half of a revolution, 180 degrees, so you can bring the key back to vertical and pull it out. Length of the short, which is marked DS, overall, about 9/16. the medium length, which is marked DL. I'm not sure why it's L. The DL is 15, maybe 7/8. The long one, which is marked LM, of all things, about 1 inch and 7/8. You are then going to get the washer that you'll need if you're doing a deadbolt, so that it looks like this when it's installed. Okay, you wouldn't use that necessarily. You wouldn't use it with your key and knob or lever deadbolts. You could try to fit it in there, but you don't install it in that case. There's then a piece of plastic, and I've talked to the factory about that, and what they've been able to tell me is that occasionally the overall length of the cylinder is a skosh too short and has too much slop. So if you find that this slops too much in and out, install this on the back side after your installation with the tailpiece and slide it over the tailpiece, then install it. That's where you would use that. 04 in the part number stands for satin brass. That's a reference to the face of the cylinder plug. And then also it's available in, well, lots of different colors in terms of what it is available in, but satin chrome would be the other stocked finish. And because you're really only dealing with the face of a cylinder plug, you're probably going to be pretty limited in terms of other than satin brass and satin chrome. I suppose the factory would entertain a quote request for doing it, let's say, in oil rub bronze, a 10B finish, but that's probably not going to happen because you would use an 04 or a satin brass in that application. If you're going to do a polished chrome lock, it'll be a satin chrome face on that cylinder. So I'm quite sure that the only color we'll actually be able to order will be satin brass or satin chrome. Lots of different locks this will work in, and how many total it will work in, I don't know. I've not tried every lock possible in the world, but I've used it in lots of different locks, and it works in a lot of different locks. It's a generic style cylinder that many manufacturers use in their pin tumbler cylindrical type locks. Tubular for that, cylindrical mostly. The only time that you kind of get into trouble is when you have a tailpiece. You might have a ball style knob, orbit if we're talking Schlage, and that's got in a D series lock, and that's got a really long tailpiece on it. It's a unique tailpiece. You might have to reuse that tailpiece and make it work to fit into the cylinder should you be in that sort of position. So I can't think of any locks that it doesn't work in, except that there are those instances where it doesn't work because of a dimensional restriction. But there is a listing of those locks down below that the manufacturer puts forward as it being compatible with. Okay. There's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Kaba Ilco products that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog for their brass cylinders. Well, all their cylinders. Look for a catalog that has the words brass and cylinder in it, and that will give you this cylinder. And one thing to note there, Kaba Ilco has a really nice line of low-profile deadbolts that will be in the very beginning section of the catalog, and they can even do one with a very short back set. If you have like a French door that with a 4-inch style, you could very easily get yourself into a scenario that a standard 2 3/8 latch bolt is simply not going to work. And Kaba Ilco, and I'm stammering for time, they do actually make a back set on a latch bolt at 2-inch. Only company that I'm familiar with that currently makes it. They have a 2-inch back set. So if you need a deadbolt with a 2-inch back set, they're the ones. So the next catalog for you to review would be their key blank catalog. It's a very handy document that will allow you to at least get closer to identifying an unknown key blank. Like if I had this key blank here from my client who wanted me to key that, I would study the profile of the key blank up against that catalog and be able to get real close to knowing what it is. And then there's also a link to their not only their key machines, which the name Kaba Ilco is synonymous with key machines, but also their aluminum storefront hardware. Any questions on the Kaba Ilco? This is their part number 15995AA in an 04 finish, or any other Kaba Ilco product. Please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.